What's up YouTube, Jeff back again today with a very exciting video for you guys. And yes, you noticed I did not say Samsung video today because today, something a little bit different. This is Samsung Central here, we love Samsung, but today I have a new Android phone that I purchased, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, and I want to give some thoughts on this phone from the perspective of a hardcore Samsung fan. So this is a very popular phone in the global markets, not available here in the US. A lot of people talking about the quality of the camera, stuff like that. So I want to give my thoughts on that, tell you how it compares to what is my daily driver and what will continue to be my daily driver. I mean, I'm not going to tell you I'm going to switch from my S24 Ultra. That's not going to happen. There's no phone that's probably going to take me away from that. The Fold 6 would be the only one. But I have a lot of things to say about this phone and tell you kind of my thoughts, my initial impressions. I've been using it for about a week. So first, a couple of things to mention about this particular device. This is the Chinese version of the phone, not the global model. I'm actually going to order the global model as well because some of the things that I'm going to mention in this video, as you'll probably see, are specific to the Chinese model. So keep that in mind. I'll also make a video probably on the global model when I get it. I also forgot to mention Jonathan, my 3-year-old son, he gave us some stuff to hang out in the video. We got the hammerhead shark, and he wanted to show you guys, he made this Easter bunny in a little class that he had, a little craft. So very cool. He wanted to share that, so we appreciate him. Anyway, this is the Chinese model, and let me tell you some of the things I like about it and also some of the frustration. So first of all, I purchased the blue model, which many of you probably know. This has something called like dragon glass or something on it, which is Xiaomi is calling it. It's supposed to be like ceramic, but lighter than ceramic. Most of the other models of the Xiaomi 14 Ultra have like this, PU leather back, which I wasn't a huge fan of. I had the 13 Ultra last year. I got the global model of that and used it for a while. I just never made a video on it. And I wasn't a huge fan, so I got this. Now, the one bummer is this version, the blue version with the dragon glass on the back, that does not have the global version. So you only get the PU leather in white or black. Now, I like this, but it doesn't feel like ceramic. I'll be honest with you. I listened to Flossie Carter, who I'm a huge fan, of course, as we all are in the tech community. I listened to his video on this, and he talked about the fact that this doesn't feel like ceramic, and I couldn't agree more. This feels like regular old glass, and it's not really ceramic, and Xiaomi talked about this in the launch event, but it does feel pretty nice in the hand, but it's very slippery. And because of the size of the camera module, if you sit this down, on a table, the chances of it slipping off if you don't have it in the right position on the right type of surface is pretty good. So that's definitely a possibility. I got the face unlock here just because it's really nice on the Xiaomi phone. So one thing that's, nice about it is I love the look, the build, the color. I love the gold ring around the huge camera hump on the back with the Leica branding. I think it looks really elegant with the blue. It feels nice in the hand, except for one thing, and I will mention this, and I know some other people have mentioned this as well. If you're holding it like this phone is very top heavy because of the huge camera module on the back. I mean, look at this thing. It's a behemoth, and it is very heavy on the back. So you have to find the right balance position to hold it, because obviously I don't want to put my hands all over the camera lens. You got to hold it a little bit higher than you would a traditional phone, which can sometimes make answering text messages, composing emails, a tweet, something like that, uncomfortable. So I will say, while I like the aesthetic look of the phone, I think it looks really nice overall. Some people don't like the camera hump on the back, the big circle. I think it looks nice, but I do think that it makes it a little bit uncomfortable to hold. I would say that in general, even though the Galaxy S24 Ultra is a little taller and a little bit larger than this phone, I find it a little easier to hold in my hand. In fact, let me get out the S24 Ultra. I'm thinking about making a full comparison between these two phones, but you guys will have to let me know if that would be interesting. You can see I can't even fit it in the frame. The S24 Ultra is a little bit taller. It's not a lot taller, but it's a little bit taller than the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. And I find it a little easier to hold because, of course, it doesn't have this massive circular camera hump on the back. I think Samsung's camera module looks a little more elegant, and it also makes the phone, more ergonomically pleasing, even though this is rounder at the bottom and the Galaxy S24 Ultra is still more squared off. So that's the build stuff. Getting past that, the camera is the other really big selling point for this. Let me go into the gallery. I'm going to show you guys some photos that I took. All right, so here's some photos that I took this past weekend at my mother-in-law's birthday party. It takes really good photos. This actually was in kind of a low light situation inside of the Cheesecake Factory. You can see here, picture of the cake, very good detail in low light. I took some pictures of my son We were actually seated by the window at this point. You had some sunlight coming in directly, so you can see a little bit of a haze from that. But overall, it does a really good job in the portrait mode. I mean, I was really impressed with that. This was also taken towards the back of the restaurant, a little bit of low light of him, a couple of photos there. I mean, I think the photos are really, really good. I'm going to take some more photos, and again, if people are interested in a direct comparison to the S24 Ultra, I'll certainly do that. I think this particular camera takes really great detailed shots in low light situations, and also the zoom is just really, really amazing. Let me back out and show you one that I took. This is at 30x zoom right here. This is crazy. You can see the detail is amazing. This is a 30x zoom shot on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, which is crazy. So at the end of the day, a lot of people have asked, is the camera so much better than the S24 Ultra? Because all the hype is about this and the Oppo camera. I would say the camera is slightly better to me in comparing them side by side, but the S24 Ultra still has a lot of areas where it excels over the Xiaomi, and some of those particular areas are like shooting landscape, shooting clouds, shooting some stuff outdoors, certain macro situations. The main place where the Xiaomi excels over the Galaxy, in my opinion, is still low light, and the zoom does appear to be quite a bit better, even though Samsung improved some of that with that February update that fixed some of the camera issues. I still think the zoom at really, really long zoom ranges like this 30x here is better on the Xiaomi. So I have been very impressed with the camera. However, that brings me to my final point, which has actually been the most frustrating thing about this phone, and that is the software. So the software, and again, keep in mind, this is the Chinese version, this is not the global version. So some of these things are different on the global version. The software on the Xiaomi phones is infuriating because you do not get real-time notifications for pretty much anything. And if you want real-time notifications for them, you have to go in and change all this stuff. In fact, I'll show you guys. If I long press on here and I go into info, you've got to go in here, turn on auto start. This basically makes it so that the app can allow itself to run in the background, which of course every messaging app needs to do. You need to then go in here, turn on all of the permissions, including other permissions, or the notifications will not come in real time. Then you need to go down to notifications, make sure you have all these permissions turned on. Then you need to go down to each individual notification category, go to on the lock screen, and make sure it says show all notifications and their contents. The default here is to not show notifications at all. So if you don't do all of these steps, and actually I'm forgetting one. There's so many steps here. The other one is you got to go to battery saver inside the app info and change it from battery saver to no restrictions, because battery saver is the default, which is how they get such crazy battery life out of the phone out of the box. However, if you actually turn on all of the real-time notification, auto start, remove the battery restriction so you get your emails and your messages, the battery life isn't really any better than the Galaxy S24 Ultra. First few days I had it, because I haven't had a Xiaomi that I use regularly in a long time. I used to do these imports all the time when I first started the channel. I was just using it, and I noticed I wasn't getting any notifications on the lock screen, but my battery life was phenomenal, which is great. Everybody loves phenomenal battery life, but I'm not getting notifications, so I can't use the phone. I can't work like that, and it's because none of that stuff was turned on. Once I turned that stuff on, is basically the same or a little bit worse than the Galaxy S24 Ultra. So very frustrating with the software. There are some aspects I like about the software. Like one really cool feature is you can actually sort your app icons in the app drawer by color. I think that's an awesome feature. I'd love to see Samsung implement that. I think that's fantastic. There's some other great things about HyperOS that I really do like. I think they've really improved the way their settings work. There's a lot more customization about how you actually deal with, having an app drawer and how the UI looks. I mean, overall, it's not a bad operating system other than just the way they overly aggressive manage the battery life and the notification situation. I can't work like that because it's just not how I use my phone. Now, that being said, I will make a follow-up video when I get the global model because I think the notification situation is a little bit better. And of course, there's a lot of other things that'll be better. You can't use Android Auto on here. And there's quite a few other things that you might use, on a US phone that you can't utilize, but on the global model you can. And so that'll be a much more fair comparison. Anyway, I just wanted to give some thoughts. I posted this phone over on Twitter, and so many people were interested in hearing what I had to say. Who knows if the video will do well? Usually when I post videos like this, they don't. but it's fun, and I have fun using phones, you know, outside of the channel, even if I'm not making content. So I figured, why not throw it up? Worst case scenario, it gets 500, 600 views, and a few people enjoy it. Of course, the S24 Ultra is still going to be my main phone. This is still mainly Samsung Central here, Sammy Guru, Jeff Springer, all that stuff. But let me know if you guys are interested in a full comparison of these two phones, which would be a lot longer and have photo samples and all that. I'm happy to do it if there is interest. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon for future videos like this. I do appreciate you guys checking this one out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.